Afternoon, everyone. Hunter here again at Weather on the Go, and this is your afternoon update looking at the potential for severe weather as we go into this weekend, both Saturday, April 6th into Sunday, April 7th, as well as a slow-moving, sluggish storm that will bring a lot of heavy rain across the country as we go into next week, and we continue to monitor the potential for significant severe weather as we go through next week with that storm system. So if you are new here to Weather on the Go and you want to be a subscriber to Weather on the Go for accurate, detailed weather forecasts throughout the year, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and also the like button down below. It does terrifically help out more than you know to get this weather information passed along to more and more people. So let's look at the big picture here across North America here this afternoon. We have that storm system that brought all the snow across the Great Lakes and the Northeast already moving into Nova Scotia and into eastern portions of Canada this afternoon. A ridge of high pressure bringing mixes of sun and clouds across the middle of the country does prevail across mainly the Great Plains this afternoon. And then here's our next big storm system, our sluggish storm, if you will, that will be crawling across the country as we go in towards next week. We'll be talking about as well. So let's look here at our precipitation map as of this afternoon. We still have that storm system moving eastward into Canada, but we still have some lingering rain and snow up here into especially the Northeast and interior New England this afternoon. Mix of sun and clouds, rain-free, snow-free across the middle of the country this afternoon in the Corn Belt. And then out west, here's our new storm system bringing some snow out here to the Intermountain West, the west coast of California as well. And as we go into tonight, we can still see both these systems are on the map producing snow mainly across the Rockies, some snow there across the Northeast through tonight. And then as we go into the weekend, that storm system out west will begin to eject across the middle of the country, and this will be intercepting some warm, moist, and unstable air to tap into for severe weather potential both on Saturday and on Sunday, eventually as this ejects into the Midwest here. So let's look at our precip map as we go into Saturday. We still see some snowfall here into the higher elevations of the Rockies, some rainfall across portions of the northwestern plains as well, the warm sector laying out here on Saturday. Saturday night, cold frontal boundary moving across the mid-Missouri Valley could spark some showers and storms, maybe a narrow line of some stronger thunderstorms that we'll have to watch for places like Omaha or Kansas City going into Saturday night. Going into Sunday, this is mainly a rain-snow mix event across the north, so if you live in the Dakotas, northern Nebraska through the upper Midwest region, this is going to be more of a rain-snow mix for you folks up there as we go into Sunday. And that really actually does continue as we go into Sunday night to finish the weekend as well. And let's look at the severe weather potential going into the weekend time frame here. This is the latest update to the Storm Prediction Center's Day 2 outlook for Saturday, April 6th. A slight risk of severe weather does continue to be maintained across south central Nebraska and northern portions of Kansas, with that marginal risk level 1 out of 5 extending down into eastern portions of Oklahoma there. And then as we go into Sunday here, a marginal risk extending from the central Illinois Valley over here into central and southern Indiana through the mid-south all the way southward through northern Louisiana. We'll have to watch out for some isolated strong to severe storms. And again, Sunday may have a smaller slight risk upgrade as we do get closer to this day for severe weather. So let's look at this. This is your lightning flash density. This shows you where thunderstorms will most likely occur. As we go into Saturday morning, we aren't seeing really any thunderstorms occurring this early in the day. It's really the afternoon. Peak daytime heating, we increase the instability, we increase the wind shear out there, and we start to see some scattered strong to severe storms firing up near the dry line as we go from Nebraska down into northern Kansas Saturday afternoon. That will work down the dry line, or at least attempt to fire some storms there across eastern Oklahoma by Saturday evening. But notice, Saturday night, we lose the instability, we lose the energy and daytime heating, and those storms just completely crumble as we go into Saturday night. Going into Sunday morning, same thing, similar to Saturday morning. Very quiet to start your day. Going into the afternoon, we're going to fire up some isolated, widely scattered, strong to severe storms right along that cold frontal boundary here from portions of the central Illinois Valley over here into the western Ohio Valley, and then down across the mid-south, the deep south Sunday afternoon, and looking at that continuing into Sunday night. But the coverage and intensity of those storms, again, as we lose the instability Sunday night, will start to wane from west to east. Looking overall at your precipitation totals through the weekend, decent rains in areas that do need it. So beneficial rains up here. I know we have severe extreme drought in places like Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. So nice to see a little bit of rain up here for those areas. Also down here across the deep south, seeing some heavier rains in association with those thunderstorm clusters through the weekend, and some snowfall on the backside. It's still early April, so we still could see some heavier snows for places like southeastern Montana, portions of Wyoming there into the western Nebraska panhandle and into the western Dakotas. A few to several inches of accumulating snow may be possible there, in excess of 6 inches in some of those areas in and around the Cheyenne, Wyoming area, and places such as that through the weekend. Now, as we go into Monday, starting off the new work week here, very big day as well. Total solar eclipse here. Another trough tries to break off from the parent trough, and we have another one developing across the Four Corners region on Monday. And this is going to be slow-moving trough as well on Wednesday. This only makes it as far east as the Texas Hill Country region. And then by Friday, that ejects across the Great Lakes region. And then we have a ridge building out west, which what looks to become our next major warming trend in towards the following weekend in the wake of our recent storm here. So let's look here on Monday. We see some snowfall here to the north. We see some rainfall here to the south where it's warm enough. And we do have to look at our total solar eclipse area as well, the path of totality. It looks like the clearest area to see that would be Indianapolis down to Paducah, or up here in the northeast, Burlington, up toward the Caribou, Maine region. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty much cloudy across the rest of those areas in the path of totality. I know down here in Texas, a lot of folks down there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, San Antonio, Little Rock, maybe even up toward Cleveland and Buffalo, trying to, hold on to hope to try and see that. But right now, it looks like cloud cover is going to be impeding that. So definitely watching out for that going into Monday. Going into Tuesday, here comes that storm. More severe weather, more heavy rain for the deep south on Tuesday. That moves very slowly to the east on Wednesday, almost the same areas with more rounds of severe weather and some heavy rainfall. That continues into Thursday. Heavier rain moves up into the Ohio Valley, but much of the eastern seaboard, Maine to Florida and everywhere in between, seeing some heavier rainfall on Thursday. Friday, same thing, cold front off of the southeast coast. Watch out for maybe a stronger storm down here into southern Florida on Friday, but other than that, just some colder rains up into southeastern Canada and the northeast for Friday afternoon. And looking here at the rainfall totals, this is from now all the way through the middle of the month. This goes through Sunday, April 14th. Very heavy rains across eastern Canada, but also the eastern two-thirds of the country, with the heaviest totals down across the deep south. Look at some of these totals in and around the Tyler, Texas region, Shreveport, Lake Charles, up here through the Baton Rouge region, into Jackson, Mississippi, stretching over to Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery. A lot of these areas could be seeing over 6 inches worth of rain going through the middle of April. And when we move it further east here, you can see the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast. A lot of these areas, folks, going to be seeing 1 to 3 inches of rain. So some very heavy rainfall. Flash flooding will become a concern as we have more rounds of storms moving over the same areas through the middle of the month. Now, looking at the severe weather potential, we continue to monitor the potential for significant severe weather in a multi-day outbreak next week in association with that storm. Starting here on Monday, April 8th. Again, big day, total solar eclipse here. We do have a slight risk for severe weather across especially North Texas, but this does look to be Red River vicinity type of setup here on Monday. Same thing on Tuesday, northern, eastern Texas into western Louisiana. Then as we go into Wednesday, this is mainly down here near the mouth of the Mississippi River. We're talking East Texas, southern Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and western Alabama, with the slight risk of severe weather again as we go into Wednesday. So let's look at this here. Lightning flash density showing you where the thunderstorms could be and the coverage intensity of them as well. Monday, looking at right now coastal Texas, southern Louisiana over here into the Mississippi region during the day, but that will spread north here with the instability growing into North Texas. We're going to be just watching out for scattered supercells, very large hail producers with a large instability reservoir on Monday night. We definitely have to keep an eye on some very large hail producers over 2 inches in diameter, but also damaging wind gusts and a few tornadoes. That will carry us into Tuesday. Now Tuesday's threat looks to be more of an MCS, a mesoscale convective system here. It's going to have a cold pool with it, and with cold pool type of systems, you're going to have more damaging winds versus tornadoes. So I think Tuesday's threat is more of a damaging wind threat versus a tornado threat, but certainly we could still see some spin ups there along the leading edge of the line on Tuesday. That MCS will push into Louisiana, western Mississippi Tuesday evening into Tuesday night. We'll have another MCS moving through and the outflow of that previous day's MCS on Tuesday. As we go into Wednesday here across New Orleans, Gulfport, Mississippi, the Laurel region, down toward Jackson, Mississippi as well during the day on Wednesday. Wednesday night, that shifts east across the Dixie Alley region into Alabama, western Georgia there. And then on Thursday, I can't rule out a severe weather risk from the eastern Ohio Valley down through the Carolinas and into Florida and Georgia here. So definitely a multi-day threat of severe weather, and significant severe weather at that, and we will be likely going live for multiple days to break down live radar analysis and everything that you need to know here up and coming for the severe weather threat. Again, make sure you are a subscriber here to Weather on the Go so we can keep you covered here with this latest on the severe weather, the heavy rainfall, everything throughout the year weather-wise. Also, make sure to press the like button down below, the thumbs up button. It helps out more than you know, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Friday out there.